Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I'm your host Josiah, aka Muller67, and with me, as always, I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how are you doing today?
No, I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. It's-
Yeah, it's been like that week, man. It's
yeah. I started my new job
mhm.
this week.
This is just your like summertime job.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yes, last week we were gonna do the podcast, but after like 7 hours of driving, we kind of were like, let's not do the podcast. So I was actually really tired. I came home and I was going to put new hard drives in the Plex computer.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did, I hurt my sciatica. So I was like, I've been in pain for the last like week. But
Dang.
recently, I have like been digging some research and doing some TikTok stuff, and I found out like a lot of stretches I can do to help with that. And like recently, like in the last day or two, I have hardly any pain. So I'm like,
Yeah,
good.
That's good. Yeah.
And I found something that I can take that actually isn't like a painkiller, and it works really well. So I'm like, hey,
what is it?
I'll just use that. It's called Bear Back and Body, and I've heard
Isn't
like
that acetaminophen?
aspirin.
Yeah, aspirin. Yeah, that's it. Aspirin.
Yeah, it works. Works just fine for me.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Mm-hmm. And you can take that, like, what was it? I think every 6 hours you can take 2 tablets.
Oh,
so,
dang.
like, I can stand up. Like before, like when I stood up, like it was like, that slunch where you just like this.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Now I'm like up. Now I'm like, hey, So, and like getting down would have just hurt really bad.
Yeah.
But had to been dealing with that, especially with my new job. Like, I got like we got like 50 kids we have to take care of. So,
what are you doing? Or
I'm a youth camp.
You're youth camp. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing a YMCA summer camp. I'm a teacher there.
Wow. What are you teaching the kids?
Pretty much it's just like respect, honesty, wow, I don't even know. Respect, honesty, responsibility, and I forget the last one. I forget faith or whatever it is, because it's the Y. I was like, yeah, but I don't do that one. But yeah, Young Men Christian Association, that's YMCA. So yeah, I've been teaching that. It's been a lot of fun. Like most of the time we've been doing just like activities, crafts, kickball, mat ball. I haven't played mat ball for a long time.
What's mat ball? Because that's super familiar.
It's where you lay out like 4 mats and then
okay, yeah.
You can keep running.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kids, just love to lie around. And then what's really funny is like the girl that is actually the physical ed teacher, the physical education teacher is actually part of the Y's summer camp, and my wife has known her because she was her phys ed teacher, and everyone knows this phys ed teacher, and she knows me and us because we're friend. The guy that I go camping with, that's his wife's best friend. So she was like, I'm going to teach you a cool game that I get the kids to like just mellow out. And I was like, okay. And she's like, we're going to play Graveyard and Rock. And I was like, okay. And she's like, Graveyard, everyone lay down, and if you move, you're out. And it's just a way to just shut up the kids, pretty much. And then Rock is like, pretend that you're a rock. If you move or do anything, you're out. And it's like all those kids are like, it's so funny watching that.
That hurts my soul.
It does hurt your soul.
That's like when you're a kid and you're like, man, I'm so excited to like go to gym and have fun and everything, and he just kind of runs up and she's just like, today we're going to play the silent game. All right.
Well, the only reason she did that is because we do have speakers that come in, and sometimes they're too hyped because they just got done doing all this activity stuff. So we do that game so it gets them unhyped. That's actually kind of funny.
It's still funny to me. Like, I don't know what to say. All right.
But
well,
yeah.
no, that's good, Austin.
So how was your week?
My week was pretty okay. I got this stuff with the car almost settled up. I have to go into the tow people to give them the lease and everything so that they can take care of that, finish that up. And then yeah, me and Terry went to our new apartment to like look at the place. It looks pretty nice. And like we're basically have to do the application this week, and they're asking a lot for that like application. It's kind of crazy. But no, other than that, I've just been playing games and just, you know, doing what I do. Awesome. It's my life. I was explaining to a couple of guys.
Are you moving? Like
we don't know because we're doing the application still.
Oh, gotcha.
Once the application is approved or not approved, we'll know if we're going to move or not. Because if it's approved, they said that they could, if we got the place that's currently up, they could give us the keys by the end of this month, and we wouldn't have to pay until August 1st when we officially start paying everything. Which it's a nice place. We like it. It's a lot smaller than our current place because we don't need the space. We don't use a lot of it. We don't really go out and like interact with things very often. So having a smaller apartment is actually better for us. It's downsizing is fantastic. It's fully carpeted, which caught me off guard. Fully carpeted, and they're cool with cats. It has a balcony, and the place we were looking at as well, they had a grill on the balcony as well. Washer dryers inside the apartment complex. It's only about $3 for a load, and it's like, yeah, that's all we can ask for. And I'm like, pretty good, pretty solid. The good thing is the issue about the location, and this is the biggest issue, is that it's on the side of a hill, like it's going up a hill, and so walking to the T-stop is like 2 minutes from the front door to there. 2 minutes. Not far at all. However, it's going down a little bit of an incline. So going down or going up, you're going to be tired. Going down, no issue whatsoever. During winter, if it's not ice or something like that, you gotta make sure you're careful, basically. But I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue, to be honest. Other than that, we're right in between an intersection of two different T systems. So we can just get on any T we want when we're heading downtown and when we're going back, because all of them come to us. So pretty solid if we can get that. If we can get it. But no, awesome. Other than that, I've been playing Expedition 33. Very, very happy with the game. Have not felt this level of enjoyment of RPG since Final Fantasy X. What I mean by that, like, I like a lot of RPGs that come out. There's something, the mechanics of Final Fantasy X I very much enjoy, like the turn base and how like different characters will have different qualities or not. Yeah. Expedition 33 does that to like the 100th degree, and the story is very well paced. Like, it's not just expositioning dump, it actually makes you try and figure it out yourself, and I like that a lot. So really good, highly recommend it for anyone. People are already talk great about it, but I'm just saying it's worth it. I'm not that far in the game. I literally just completed Act 1 apparently. I thought I was like halfway through the game. And then it's just like Act 2. I was like, what the freak?
It's kind of like Red Dead in a way for me. Like,
yeah,
it sounds like
yeah.
Red Dead to me, where you're just like, wow, I'm probably pretty close to the end of the game, and it's like, nope.
Act 3. You're like, close. That's Act 3?
How dare they?
Oh my gosh, yeah. But no, that was good. So I can't really complain. It has like that great mix of like super dark, gripping story and then like comedic characters, and so you really like it. Like, there's these one guys you meet called he's called like Existra or something like that. He's just a big puffy guy, And he's just funny to me because he's always like, he when you first meet him, he's like, I need to find my rocks. And you're like, okay, yeah, sure. And it's just like, Francois stole it from me. It's like, who's Francois? He's like, he's the most evil person in the world. It's like, where is he at? And he's like, he's on the other side of the cave. What? Yeah, we're neighbors. F that guy. And then you go to Francois, and Francois just like, why the heck are you here? Freaking Escort, stop sending your stupid humans over to me. It's just like, don't be mean, they're nice. Like, it's so like like that level of comedy I love. So highly recommend. But anyways, Austin, let's talk about a show that doesn't have a lot of comedy in it this season, but with as much stress. Austin, we're talking about Last of Us season 2. Austin,
Yeah.
what did you think of Last of Us season 2?
I'm gonna be blunt here, guys. I'm super gonna be blunt with this. I hated this season, and it's
You
not
did?
because
Okay.
not because of what you think it is. Because the thing is, I have played this game. I knew it was coming. I totally knew Joel was gonna die. That was just like the number one thing I knew from part 2 of Last of Us. That's one of the biggest things that happens in that show. But the thing is I thought what sucked about this was the pacing that was happening at the time that everything was going down. I think that they rushed a lot of things that they could have made a little bit better. It kind of felt like to me they were just like, oh, we have to get to the point where where the season has to end with exactly how the game ends, or like how we want it to end in the game. And I was like, okay, you
Keep going.
so the thing is I felt like, so I know what they're trying to do. I don't know, have you played Last of Us Part 2 at all?
Nope,
Like,
never played any of them. This is my
So-
first
Man.
interaction with it all.
Oh, that's right. You never played part 1, because part 1 was like, so here's the thing. They are leading into exactly how the game like changes narratives, like how it ends. The ending of the season is exactly how they're changing. I don't know. How much do you know about like
So
part 2?
this is all I know about The Last of Us. I knew nothing about Last of Us Part 1. I know very minimum amount of Part 2 because when that game came out, my friend Andrew was staying with me and he was a big fan of it. And so he was playing it and I was watching him and he was explaining certain things. So like I understood that Joel got killed, that Abby killed Joel, and I was down. I was pretty like anti what's her face, Ellie, whenever I was watching it with him, because I'm like, she's being a piece of trash. Like he loved her and he did that. He's like, it's more complex than that because he took the choice away from her, and I'm just like, it doesn't sound like a choice. It sounded like she was basically being told, because I asked him like, would the cure have worked if they would have killed her? And he's like, it's left in the air, we don't know. And so I looked at him like, it's not a choice then. What you're saying is that he took away the choice of this cure, but it wasn't a confirmed thing to happen. And I'm like, it's different if it was 100%. And yes, I understand it's his daughter. If it was 100% thing and he doomed the whole world, I get it. But he didn't. So I was very anti-Ellie during The Last of Us 2. But I remember watching him play as Ellie, and then I think they make you switch perceptions as you play as Abby for different parts of the game. And the one thing I liked about Abby is like Abby was like a Hulkamania character. Like she was ripped. She was what I thought Ellie should have been. Cause like she was crazy looking. Like it looked like she was been in the military, born in the apocalypse, and she's like known combat her whole life. But yeah, that's all I really know about it. I didn't really know that the reason why Abby killed Joel. I guess her, if it's the same as it is in the show, her dad was the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is pretty accurate. This is pretty accurate. They did change a little bit of things where I was kind of a little like it actually upsets me a little bit.
Okay.
Because they do something in this season that I actually like that they did in The Last of Us Part 2 game. But so where the episode leads off, I mean the season finale leads off where the gun goes off and you don't know if Ellie died or not.
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
mean, it ends with it pretty much on the thing that's like she got shot. She got shot. But as being a main character, your brain's like she's okay. Something's going to happen.
So that is when the game changes where you do not play, you play as Abby. That so next season will be just Abby's story leading up to
The
how they get to the
confrontation. Yeah.
aquarium and all that other stuff, the confrontation, and then you learn. Then there's like an after story about everything that goes on. The thing is, I just the biggest thing. I just feel like the pacing for this was really badly done. I just didn't think that they should have slowed it down a little bit, just a little bit more. I feel like I think there was a miscast on Abby. I really do not like that actress, and I like the character that they portrayed in the game a lot, where she was like this big hulking warrior.
Yeah, she looked like an Amazon warrior almost. Like she was like, you looked at her, you're like, oh, you can protect
She was a
me.
battlefield
Like,
soldier.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
She
why
seems more like
such a cool thing.
like okay, so I don't want to be one of those people, but like I felt like Ellie should have been aged up a little bit. I like the person I like the person who played
talking point.
in like the first season. Perfect Ellie, fantastic. But they're like, this is 5 years later. I'm like, it just sucks because her actress looks the same, because she's not like actually that young. She's older, and so it's one of those things that it's like, if you're trying to make it seem like time has passed, it didn't work. Like, it doesn't feel that way. Whenever they're like, it's 5 years, I'm like, I feel like you're just telling me it is, and it doesn't actually feel that way. Because it was the same thing with Abby, and I'm wondering the reason why they didn't do a like super hulking, like picked someone named picked a actress for the Abby character who was more like ripped, or forced her to go through like the Marvel level of like exercising like they did with Camille. Was to make her look more realistic, that Ellie had a chance. Because the Abby from the what?
Maybe.
Because when I look at Abby from the game, I'm like, she could rip Ellie in half. Like, that's legitimately what my thought process was. And then this one, I'm like, they look more even toe, and I don't like that.
So the thing is that's exactly how it is, because oh man, I really don't want to spoil it, but like they, don't worry. This is leading to a showdown.
Yeah, 100%.
So like when the showdown happens, there are disadvantages that makes it the reason why Ellie and Abby could be on the same battlefield, like same wit. That makes sense. But the thing is like, it doesn't. I just think I think Bella Ramsey was not a good pick to be
Ellie again.
And this, I think they should have like had someone a little bit more age, like what they did with Game of Thrones. And you know how much I hate season 2 of House of Dragon. I think they did great in season 1.
I didn't remember you hating season 2.
I didn't really care. Remember, I thought it was like very boring, and it was like a teaser trailer.
Yeah, but that that wasn't. Yeah, sorry, no, my bad. I'm construing you saying you're not enjoying the season with you not enjoying the casting. This is what you're saying. But what you're probably going to say is that the casting was better because they aged up people by selecting new people.
Correct. Like, whatever her name is.
I don't remember actors' names. I normally, when we do these shows, I have the shows pulled up so I can just
the name of the character in House of Dragons. That was the little girl, and then they aged
Rhaenyra.
That's it. I think they did perfect for that.
Yeah.
Like, it was believable. I was like, that's cool. This, on the other hand, I felt like it wasn't enough time passed. It felt like the next day was like,
it felt, I was very, I will admit, I was getting confused near the end of the season when they started showing flashback with Joel, and I could not differentiate what was happening like 5 years ago or what was happening like 5 months ago. Because like they like showed her like with Joe having the fun time at the thing, and I was like, oh, this must have been like right before Joe died. And then it's like, no, it was before her 16th birthday. I'm like, how old is she now? Like, I don't know character concepts and everything. And then it starts showing like her realizing that she's attracted to women and getting a tattoo and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm seeing like the downfall of like her and Joe's relationship effectively here. But I don't have context because like I think it would have been great to have like a older Ellie, like someone who looks like Bella Ramsey but older. Like they just look like they're, because there's certain people that like you look at someone, you're like, you look like an older version of them. Whether or not you're older, that's besides the point. When you tell the audience that like time has passed but characters look very similar, it doesn't work. The only reason why we can get like we give Pedro Pascal a pass on this is because like I'll be honest, he looks like an older gentleman anyways, and then them throwing the like makeup on to make him look older, it kind of worked. I was like, yeah, you look pretty old, mate.
Well,
like
it's easier to age up a man in his 40s to look like he's 20 years older. Like it's easier to do that.
To be fair, him in the last season I thought looked older than the character was supposed to represent.
Correct.
So like when they showed Joel initially, Pedro looked like an older person, and I was like, oh, I guess Joel was just an older person. And it's like, no, he's supposed to be younger, and then now he's older. Now he looks like the appropriate age for Joel, not the other way around. I think it's just hard to like age up people in certain realistic standards and everything, and it really sucks because like I like Bella, I like her acting, but I think my issue that I have with the season, maybe I would have had this issue with the game too because I never played it. Ellie looked like she was supposed to be a stealth expert. She was supposed to be the one who was like traveling, dodging, weaving, choosing not to shoot when necessary, taking people out stealth kills and everything of that sort. That was going to be her like bonus, right? And then Abby in the game, to what I thought she was going to be, looks like a military soldier, like the whole like tactical go in, pop, punch things if necessary. I'm like the strong individual. And the reason why they would be balanced is because in a straight inward fight against Ellie versus Abby, Abby would win, but Ellie would go about it a different way and like go around or hide and like catch her off guard. Like that's why I assumed was going to happen. I just feel bad because I felt like this whole season Ellie does not appear to be like stealthy. Like she does so many things that just kind of puts her in bad situations. Like when her and the one girl are in that like they go into that place, that like shopping place, and then she falls through the floor, and it's like she's like, oh no, there's like the intelligent creeper around us, oh no. And she like gets caught off guard by her, and I'm just like, it doesn't make your character look good if you're always getting caught off guard. Like I don't know, it feels like they wrote Ellie a little bad,
so
to make her
the other gripe.
view as if she's not like an intelligent survivalist.
So the biggest gripe I do have, and it is part of this, and it will tag on to this, is you are 100% correct. Ellie in the game is very stealth looking. She sneaks through grass. She like goes through corners and like stabs someone, then goes and like everyone's like, where is she? You know, it's like she's meant to be a tactician compared to Abby that is brute force, tactical.
Yeah, because that's why I understood based upon just her look. It would be the difference is looking at someone who's a rogue in like fantasy and like all stealthy, and you're like, oh okay, and then you look at the dude who's like wearing like less armor, big bulky muscles, you're like, barbarian, you go in first, getcha.
But like the thing is because like thinking of that, the scene where Ellie actually confronts her two friends in the aquarium, that scene is not like it is in the game. In the game, it literally is a hand-to-hand combat situation where he goes to grab a gun, she like throws him down, and they're like trying to stab each other, stuff like that. And then the girl, she instantly kills and doesn't think anything about it, and then she rolls her over, and that's when they find out that she's been, she's pregnant. And like I was like, I didn't like the whole be like, oh, you couldn't have me. It's like, oh, come on, dude. Like this.
Oh, is that not part of the game?
That is not part of the game. She does not do that. She kills her. She doesn't know, and then she flips her, and she has that realization of like, oh my gosh, Like I just did that. Like, you know, and that's what I was like, okay.
The funny thing is, right? The version that is in this version is not Ellie's fault. Because the guy, knowing that she's pregnant, like the guy knew, goes for the gun and stands in front of her. If you're going for a gun and you're trying to protect someone, you don't go and use your body as a shield against someone with a bullet.
See,
you
that's
know?
exactly why I had a problem with this, because the thing is, you know, it wasn't that he knew it. Like, that's why in the game, he like comes at you and then you guys go at it with each other and then you stab him. The girl comes at you now.
Yeah, and you self-defense yourself.
Yeah,
and then you feel bad. You're like, oh no, I killed her in self-defense.
Except
she was pregnant. Like, this one is like, I shot the guy because he went for the gun, and oh no, the bullet went through him and then nicked her like her neck, and now she's bleeding out.
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, like I was like, she got all hung up. I'm like, it's not on you. Like, I that was a situation that you don't want to hurt that person, but that person drew a gun knowing that the person next to him was pregnant. I didn't understand this. Were they like the relationship together? Like, was that his daughter or husband or something?
They don't really talk about that, like, really in the game. Like it's just nothing like that. Like, you don't really know too much about these people, except like the whole scenario in the game is like you are just trying to hunt down Abby.
Yeah, you're just going for Abby.
That's it. You don't get a backstory on those two. You don't get a backstory on like the other two people too. Like you don't.
Okay.
It's just not how that is.
Because like when that happened, I was like, if he cared for like if they were in a relationship together, right? And he knew she was pregnant, because like he offered to do it himself, right? So whenever he said that, I'm like, okay, he's protecting her because he is worried for her. And I think it would make complete sense for him to just give up Abby, because Gabby is a friend. Like 100%, I get like the concept of loyalty or anything. When it's life or death between your friend, that you witness them murder someone's father in cold blood, in a grotesque way, like not even a normal way. She didn't just show up and like shoot him and kill him and leave. She brutally beat him to death. When you see that happen and the dude comes out, he's like, I won't revenge him. I don't care about you two. Tell me where she is and you all can go. And you choose to pull a gun to not and try to like half-heartedly protect the person with the heart. Like, Joel did a better job at protecting Ellie's love interest when he was going to get killed than she did. Because at least Joel chose not to fight back, knowing that it's more important that he dies than her to die. And in this situation, the guy's like, I'm going to fight back. Like, it was bad, like, character explanations. But
I'll tell you this. I'm not really a big fan of the game. I'm not really a big fan
you're not a fan of the game?
Part 2. Not Part 2. Part 2, there is, it just irks me. I think the game's great, and then the ending happens, and it's stuck wrong. It didn't land correctly to me. Some people love it, some people do. I'm not a fan. And there is one thing I will say that I'm upset about the show that is part of the thing I did like about the ending of the game.
Okay.
So we got to see the part where Ellie confronts Joel.
Yeah, on the porch. Yeah.
That happens at the end of the game.
Oh.
After all the confrontation is done, Ellie admits that she already talked to Joel and she knew all that. That's what the surprise was, because she's still going after this whole thing. That's the surprise that's supposed to happen. And when they did that, I was like, why? That's the best part. Like, it upset me so much. Yeah.
That's okay, because like that was the thing, like before they revealed that part about Ellie like going after him, I'm like, she's going to get the revenge on them for taking away Joel.
Yeah.
Even though she's like teenager or turning whatever she is, I don't know what age she is in this season. And she's like, she doesn't like how Joel's still trying to baby her and trying to make decisions for her. She still loves Joel. And then now that Abby took Joel away before they could make amends, I thought was the whole reason why she was like hunting him down. And then that got shown, and I was like, oh, they made amends. They were all happy-go-lucky together.
She already knew that she already knew that he told her that he killed all those people in the hospital to save her.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the best part about the part 2 was. At the end of the game, they show that, like, that confrontation that happens on that porch, and it was like, oh, she knew it the whole time. Like, you're just playing all this and you're like, oh, she's just doing it to be fucking terrible. The problem I have with Last of Us 2, I liked it, what it does, what it's trying to do is it's trying to show that Ellie is kind of like Joel in a way, where Joel does bad things. And, you know, but the thing is, it's like Joel protects the people that he cares about.
Mm-hmm.
And the part 2 is just a whole revenge plot tale for Ellie just trying to get her revenge.
Yeah.
And I think the game is not great at all. And then the show, when I saw that they did the shoot part, I was like, oh, now the next season's going to be all Abby's perspective with her little buddy cop thing that she does in the game with this character she meets. Oh my gosh, I hated that. It was just, you know, I didn't like the direction of the game itself, because I didn't like that you're being played by these two, and then all of a sudden you're flipping it and you're trying to have empathy for the person that killed Joel, you know. And you've known Joel for so long from part 1 that you're like, no, it doesn't matter. You killed Joel brutally. You know, I could understand, like, if she didn't kill him brutally and just murdered him because of that, that's fine. But brutally, I think, kind of like leveled that a little bit. Like, they were like, we want you to hate her so bad, but by the way, you're gonna have to play as her. And it kind of did a bad taste in my mouth to a point where it's like, I don't like playing this anymore. Like, it's not like, I would have been okay if she would have shot Joel and then they would have explained why she did, which she did, but the brutality is what makes you not want to like that character. So going in, when they switch your narrative and you have to play as her in the game, you're like, I hate this. Like, it just, it feels like it's being forced on you. Like, it's like, oh, you didn't like her, but you need to, like, empathize for her because now you're going to play her story. And you're like, oh gosh. And then you play it and you really don't feel like it's changed your perspective on that.
You know what would have been like a better, like, story wise to do then? And this is completely changing the story of The Last of Us, right? It shouldn't have had Ellie and Joel in the game. It should have just been Abby and, like, her father. And then you, like, play through the game and you're, like, seeing them build through and do all this stuff, right? And then at the end, her dad's like, hey, I gotta go in for this procedure. Like, I'll catch you after you get done with your hunt or whatever, your drill. And then she comes back to find her dad murder and kill. And so you have a whole game to, like, get close to them, see that it's brutally murdered, and then say, like, the only description we have is that it's a guy named Joel and he's 6'2". And then that ties you together, like, oh my gosh, the first game we play and we kill these people without thinking. I just played through the second game that I thought had nothing to do with the first game, or like was set in a different thing. And then the third game is this, like, plot revenge point of, like, you play first as Abby to go after Joel, and then you play as Ellie to go after Abby, and then it's like, that would have been cool, and that would have been a whole other game, and I think people would have found that interesting, or maybe not, I don't know. But
well, there wasn't no character development. That's the problem that I had with the game, and I have a problem with season 2, is they're like, well, we have to follow the game. I think I would have been okay if they would have changed it that way, where there was character development enough for Abby that I empathized for Abby, instead of being like, oh, you killed my dad. It's like, okay, he killed a lot of people. Like, I get it. Well, he not so much to me. Yeah, well, and then they flip it on you and they're like, no, you have to play her story. You're being forced. It just felt like to me that I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It kind of like, and I don't know if you've ever watched, like, you probably haven't watched any playthrough through it. PewDiePie does a great playthrough of part 2. But when Joel dies and then he was like, oh, I kind of don't like this game right now. And he just, like, lacklusters. And then when they switched to Abby, he was like, yeah, I'm done. He's like, I just don't feel it. Why am I trying to feel empathy for someone that I don't know anything about, really?
yeah,
You know, like, that's the problem that I had with that game. And that's what I'm having a problem with this. I just feel like some of the acting isn't as good as it was. I feel like the pacing is a little bit too fast sometimes and too or they just like don't care, or they're just like, whatever. Now, I will say there is one good casting that they did do. I will say that. And Jeffrey Wright, I love that man. He is a
Who's
great
Jeffrey Wright?
cast. Jeffrey Wright is the guy that plays the all-seeing being from Marvel. I forget what it's called. The What If.
Okay, yeah, the
show
What
that
If
we-
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so Jeffrey Wright
The Watcher.
is the Watcher. He's the guy that's actually part of the military thing and throws the grenade in the truck.
Oh, and he kills Drake. Yeah.
Yeah, Drake.
Or Josh. He kills Josh.
Josh Bell. Yeah, Josh Bell.
The second
Um,
that guy started talking, I'm like, that's Josh, right? That's straight up Josh from Drake and
It
Josh.
was. I was like, that's so simple that you could find a grenade. No, but so I really enjoyed Jeffrey Wright this season. He plays like that manipulated, crazy, kooky guy, because like his big break was Westworld, like season 1. And then everyone's like, oh, he's going to be in everything now. And so when I found out he was in this, I was like, yes, perfect role.
You know what's
Jeffrey Wright's
funny?
there.
There's a podcast I watch and watch called LA by Night. It's BTM, right? One of the characters is named BD Walters. He plays one of the characters. He's a Venture. When I first saw that guy start out thing, I thought it was him because they have like the same style of beard, and because of like the equipment on, I was like, wait, is that BD Walters? What? That's awesome if it is. Like, I really enjoyed him in LA by Night, and I looked up and it's just like, no, that's definitely not him. I got really excited because anytime like the LA by Night cast get cast in like bigger roles, I'm just like, heck yeah, because they're all like good actors. So no, I will say this, I also like that too, especially how he like played the whole scene, and then the one dude's like, why do we call them voters? Because we took away their rights, and now we do it to mock them. And then he's like, he's going to kill them whenever he calls the one guy out. He's like, hey, you, come with me. And I was like, oh, something's going down.
Yeah. He plays that
just the fact that he just
crazy
pops
guy.
the 2 grenades and throw them in there, shuts it. I'm just like, nonchalant awesomeness.
He does the voice for Destruction in the Sandman narration on Audible.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Destruction. So
Here's
he's such a good actor.
Here's the question I have. Was the Scar people, or whatever they're called, like the mother people, were they in the first one?
No, they were only in the second game.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, I don't remember these people at all.
It leads up to like what the Scar. I don't know.
They just seem like a cult for something, and I'm like, what's the point? I do like how they execute people though. That's freaking brutal as crap. I love that. Because there's just like, we just put the sickle in, and then the other dude raises it and it cuts through. Like, I'm like, dang, that's metal as crap.
There is one scene this season that I really enjoyed, and it wasn't like it was just a subtle. It wasn't a subtle scene. It was very well done, and I think it was the "Take on Me" acoustic.
Really,
song
I found that really cringy. That was me.
Really?
I thought it was really cringy.
I found it cringy, but I found that it was a good song pick for that, because of what that song means. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
But it, because in the game, part 2, you get to play the guitar. And
Oh, yeah?
I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And you just like click the buttons. And what's really funny is like watching people like literally like break that game, and they're like, I'm going to learn how to play Wonderwall through Last of Us 2.
People do that anytime there's a song thing in
Yeah,
the game. I remember when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, there's a point where you could play the piano, and people just started playing like freaking Through the Fires and the Flames with it. It's like, it's like, well, why are you doing this? So that doesn't surprise me. No, I just found it awkward and like cringy because it was just like, it felt like a musical number for them just to pad time. Because it's like, I get it, like this is supposed to be a moment between the two, but it just feels weird. Like, you guys are in this post-apocalyptic world area, and she's singing "Take on Me" with this well-lit backdrop in this like post-historian thing, and I don't know, it felt weird. My other thing, the other thing I laughed at?
What?
The siege in the very beginning where all the undead go to Jackson, or out Jacksonville or whatever it's called, wherever their encampment's called. And they have like that big bow to like save everyone. I laugh because I'm like, see, this is what people thought Game of Thrones was going to be. Also, I got really frustrated at that scene too, because I'm like, bro, it's been 5 years since you all established this location, and you still only have wooden walls. At this, wouldn't you have like in those 5 years started constructing concrete walls and metal sheets and like reinforcement stuff? But no, wooden walls work, and then the wooden walls get punched through by a juggernaut, and it's just like, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Also, like freaking, yeah, I have to suspend disbelief with the fungus now, because the fungus would not live in sub-zero temperatures. It would not live in superheat, and they're just like it's adapting, blah 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 blah, and it's just like fungus and like evolution does not happen that quickly to not keep it from being extinct. Like that stuff is gone. Like, and that happens every time you watch a zombie movie. You have to throw that disbelief because they're like, oh, zombies, they die. And it's like, yeah, rigor mortis stops the body from being able to move. Like they should be decomposing. Like even like what this series was based off of, the cordyceps concept, right? Cordyceps are the things that affect ants and it moves. After a while, the ant's body is like decomposed too much that it will just like drop and just become a husk for if anything else living comes near it, it will just poof into them and then keep moving. So if they're isolated out in the snow for a year, none of that stuff is reaching them. Unless unless like a fresh batch of new humans appear out of nowhere, go and get infected, and then keep moving. And I'm like, that's not happening. Whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I enjoyed it. I agree. It felt a little like the pacing's weird. I don't like, after watching this, it makes me feel like Last of Us Season 2 should have been split up into 2 seasons. Because season 1 felt so rushed to get to the end of that game, and then this one they're splitting it into 2 seasons for the one game, and it's like, why? Like,
it doesn't make sense.
It makes sense in the form of money. Like, hey, we can keep people coming back for the next season if we split this into 2. It's kind of like the Harry Potter thing, and the like where they're like, oh, Deadly Hallows would be 2 parts because we can't jam it all into one movie. Or is it because we don't want to jam it into one movie because we want money? That's my thought process. All right, Austin, do you have anything else you would like to say about The Last of Us?
No, I think I'm good on it. I'm not, I don't know how I feel.
That's perfectly fine, man. That's perfectly fine. We'll see about next season. Maybe you'll fall in love with Abby. You'll have 8 or 7 episodes to fall in love with her. Who knows? Maybe it'll be great. Anyways, Austin. Next week we're going to watch Delicious in the Dungeon. Also, just to say this, we're trying to get our YouTube channel hooked up so we can start streaming on YouTube versus just Twitch itself. So next time, if we're able to stream on Twitch, we'll make sure to update the backdrop of our Twitch channel to say that we're streaming on YouTube now to make it easier. It just makes transferring of files and everything easier. And like Twitch is okay, but you know, YouTube has a better interface for like watching things for a longer period, in my opinion, and we can have it set up for that automatically. So that's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
All right, Austin. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Bros and Shows, and thank you all so much for stopping by, and thank you all so much for tuning in.